Hello everybody and welcome to the video. So what is here? What is the real thing that's here? Apparently it's Sat-Chit-Ananda, it's existence, consciousness, bliss. This is prior to everything, prior to duality, prior to ideas and concepts that we impose on top of it. Now we can clearly see that existence is here. I exist, this exists. I mean, me as a separate self, I'm not sure anymore, but here we are, it exists. And what else? Well, it's conscious. There's this knowing. I can't deny that there's consciousness here, whether it's this body that's conscious or the body next to me that's conscious, or the dog or the book, I don't know, but there is consciousness here. This exists and it's conscious. But what's the Ananda? What is this bliss? They're often translated as bliss. Certainly that's not here. There's no bliss here. But there is value. I was, years ago, I was trying to get enlightenment by watching lots of Angelo DeLulo videos and trying to kill my ego death and all of that. And I was seeing how when I was doing stuff, it wasn't really me doing things. It was more like the body was doing things, and then it was me claiming that I was doing things. I was experimenting with this, and I spoke to Rupert Spira on one of his live streams. And I looked like a mad person. I said, oh, well, yes, no, I see it's all arising in awareness, and this happens and this happens, and I'm not the doer, and it's just happening, thoughts arising. And he was very warm and understanding and calm, of course. And he said that really, you don't need to, if you understand that you're not the body and not the mind, you don't really need to keep pushing the netty, and not this path. You know, once you get it, his advice to me was just look what's here. You don't need to prove that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 7, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 3, to know that 2 + 2 equals 4. So just look what's here. Here is, it exists. And it's conscious. There is knowing, being and knowing. And so I went away, and I'd been trying to talk to him for once a month at that time, but I didn't bother for another 1.5 years because I really got it, and I was really exploring what was here, and I could see how other people couldn't help me with this, that it was down to me. And I felt that what was here had meaning and value. And so 1.5 years later, I spoke to Rupert Spira again and gave my thoughts. And you can watch the video because he did actually publish it. He published it about 1 year after I spoke to him, but it's on his channel. It's it's up. I'll put it up here on the right hand side at the end of the video, so you can have a look what he thinks of my opinion. He starts off talking that often we think that Ananda is this wonderful thing, wonderful experience that we're going to get when we're enlightened. But really, that's, if anything comes and goes, that's not what's actually here. We're trying to find out what the ultimate reality of this is, not what the ultimate reality in the future might be. It's really describing this, and where is the Ananda? But when you look at it, when you look into the moment through this self-reflection, you find that there is meaning and value, and it's permeating everything. There's a field of value that everything, even things of low value, so something that could be not good, it can only be not good because it exists in value. It's like music. You have a high note and a low note. It's all in music. You can't have a low note if there's no music. It's all an expression of this value, of this meaning. And when I say meaning, there's lots of meaning means lots of different things. If you look in the dictionary, you'll have different definitions. Of course, there's semantic meaning. What does this word mean in English or this word in Spanish? But when I'm talking about meaning here, I'm really talking about value, quality. So when we say something means a lot to me, or you mean nothing to me, the value, the quality that something has. Now, we naturally think that things have quality. So there's all these great things out there, and if I get them, they're going to make me happy. They're going to transmit happiness to me in some way. And this is something that lots of spiritual paths go against. Nothing out there will make you happy. People, and we can see it, the way when we get something, you buy something new that you're just really looking forward to, and you buy it, and you get it, you get buyer's remorse, and you kind of regret having bought it. Or you just see these super rich people that have everything that I'm sure would make me happy if I had everything they had, but they're not happy. And would it really be different if you were that person? Are you really that different? So it's not in the object. All these spiritual teachings say it's not in the object. This search, this longing that you're not good enough until you get that, is what causes unhappiness. And we can see it with a simple example I've used in other videos about cake. So you eat a piece of cake and it's wonderful. It's great. And you eat 2 and it's not quite as nice. And you eat 20 and it's disgusting. And you're begging somebody not to give you more cake. You'll tell them anything they want as long as you just don't give you any more cake. It clearly isn't, the value wasn't in the cake. The first piece of cake is the same as the last piece of cake, but the value wasn't there. It wasn't transmitting value to you. It's the same thing. It can't be found in the cake. So then the second thought that normal people who think about this get to is, well, it's in me. I was hungry before, and now then I'm not hungry. So clearly it's me. It's the value comes from me, the subject. It's this subjective idea. Now, you could explain it like that. I'll be honest and say, if you want, explain it all like that. You change, your situation changes, and things have different values. But it's this explanation or this description, this model, is not a very deep model, very mechanical, and it doesn't really express our experience of the world. When we like a film, when we're young and we discover we don't like it later, we find the film's rubbish, in fact. It's not like, sometimes we might think, oh yeah, I've grown up, I've changed, and I don't like this film anymore. But you do add, because it's rubbish. It's not like it was really good then and now it's not, I don't see it. You say it's because it's rubbish. I just didn't understand that it was rubbish when I was a kid. I didn't have the experience. Or, you trust someone and then you discover you made a mistake later. They're not worthy of your trust. They were a bad person. And it's not really that you're saying it's just me that's changed here. You say, no, they were always bad. It's not about the subject. It can't always be explained with the subject. In Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, this is where I get this from. Robert M. Persing goes through this. He's teaching people about art, about writing, and what's good writing, what's bad writing. And people can kind of tell what good writing or bad writing is. It's not, you could say, well, that's the cultural background. And yes, okay, it's all about subjective. You can explain it like that, but it doesn't explain this depth. We like something and then we don't like it, we make a mistake. But equally, there's something that we don't like in the beginning, a film or something, and then we learn that it's actually really good. And what do we think? Do we think I've changed? No, you think I've discovered the truth. I've discovered that it's good. Now, so Persig says that this quality is before the subject and object split. So before the mind imposes this division, he says that this field of quality is what is there. And in fact, The event of the quality event, is what gives birth to the subject and the object. It's prior to the subject and the object. So here we are, this primordial thing, which is quality. The quality, there is quality. It is conscious and it exists. This is Sat-Chit-Ananda. Through our senses, it experiences beauty. Through our thoughts, it's experienced as truth or untruth. Through our, even untruth is in the field of truth. Through our hearts, we feel love and all these emotions. And goodness, another thing, goodness is how we, through our will, and how we want to act. We want to act to the good. So once we're in the world of subject and object and saying things are beautiful, saying things are, music sounds beautiful, or somebody is beautiful, or something tastes good, or something's true, or something's not true. All of this is imposed with the imposition of the mental framework on top of it. And when we impose the subject, we also have the will to act, to do the good. This is what is fundamental. This is why Sat-Chit-Ananda is the ultimate reality. It's not that there is existence, it's conscious, and there are things that are manifested, and then we impose values on top of them. No, the value is actually there as an aspect of this one thing. In some ways, and it's a simple explanation, it's not a great way to explain it doesn't fit perfectly, but if something exists, and if you weren't conscious of it, that it wouldn't exist. If consciousness existed, but there was nothing, if consciousness didn't exist, then it wouldn't exist either. I'm saying this all wrong now. Do you see my point? It needs to exist to be conscious. It needs to be conscious to exist. Otherwise, it's not there. And also, there's this value. It's also there. This is before thought. Everything is rich, imbued with the value. This meaning that we have. This thing that becomes all the reasons for living. All the things we want in this world is expressed through how we are in this world. And in moments, in time, all of this, time, moments, subjects and objects, this is all part of what we see arising in awareness. Time arises in awareness. This quality is before time. This quality doesn't come and go. Time is change that you observe. The body is something that arises in awareness. Your thoughts are something that arises in awareness. But all of it, this arises in this eternal, immutable field of value that is what you truly are. This is Atman, and this is what to be understood. Rupert Spira describes it as quiet joy. It's that ground underneath all the mayhem. You can see my conversation with him up there. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.